GamingBolt presents 30 PlayStation 4 exclusives to look forward to in 2018 and beyond. The PlayStation 4 continues to look dominant, and 2018 is only just getting started. It doesn't matter if it's first-party titles, third-party exclusives, remasters, remakes, or anything else. There's simply way too much coming to the PlayStation 4 to ignore for this year and beyond. Let's take a look at 30 games exclusive to the console, even if they're coming to PC as well, that you should look forward to. Ni no Kuni 2: Revenant Kingdom. After numerous delays, Level 5's epic RPG will finally be releasing in March for the PlayStation 4 and PC. Set several years after the first game, players will control Evan, the young king of the cat tribe, after his kingdom is overthrown by the rat tribe. With numerous allies to gather, a new mode for kingdom building, and revamped combat, Ni no Kuni 2's gorgeous visuals are just one of the reasons for hopping back into the world. God of War. Kratos is back and a little less angry. Nonetheless, he's in the Norse realm now, and he has a son. Much like previous games, Kratos will embark on a journey, encounter many unique beings along the way, including the World Serpent, and also save his son. Save him from what, though? That's part of the surprise, honestly. Don't worry though, the same intense God of War combat and amazing graphics are still here. God of War is out on April 20th for the PlayStation 4. Detroit: Become Human. Quantic Dream hasn't been known for small-scale titles. Detroit: Become Human is another large-scale cinematic adventure set in the futuristic city of Detroit, with numerous characters to play as and hundreds of different scenarios to experience. Will you save someone or let them die? Start a riot or leave peacefully? The choices are yours when Detroit: Become Human launches in early 2018. Spider-Man. Dashing through the city as Spider-Man by day or walking through the streets as Peter Parker by earlier day, both are feelings that Insomniac's Spider-Man wants to capture. The Arkham-style combat is on point, the city of Manhattan looks large and varied, and the action is intense. Insomniac also seems to have nailed what makes Spider-Man so appealing, right down to his attitude and way of doing things. Let's see if that translates to a successful game when it arrives on the PlayStation 4. The Last of Us Part 2. Though controversial for its violence at Paris Games Week, Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the most highly anticipated exclusives for the PlayStation 4, and considering the lineup planned for 2018, that's saying something. We don't know much gameplay-wise, but Ellie is grown up, out for vengeance, and there will be hell to pay. With Naughty Dog's high standards, The Last of Us Part 2 should definitely be on every PlayStation 4 fan's radar. Days Gone. When it debuted at E3 2016, SIE Bend Studios' Days Gone made an immediate impression with its swarms of zombies collapsing upon each other. Thankfully, that wasn't the game's only hook, as players could take varied approaches to certain missions, more stealthy versus more extreme. Though there's been a lack of information lately, Days Gone is still slated to release in 2018. What kind of world awaits us? Hopefully one with creative ways to kill hordes of zombies. Ghost of Tsushima. It's the year 1274 and the Mongol Empire has invaded the small island of Tsushima in Japan. Villages burn and innocents die, but one samurai won't take it lying down. Instead, he embarks on an epic quest to dismantle the invading forces via deadly assassination and brute force. If the gorgeous concept art is anything to go by, Ghost of Tsushima should have Sucker Punch's most detailed open world till date. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. The forces of good and evil fight a never-ending battle in the Dissidia universe, and with Dissidia Final Fantasy NT, they'll fight 3 on 3. There will be a total of 28 characters fighting on either side of Cosmos or Chaos, including Cloud Strife, Sephiroth, Noctis, Lightning, Garland, and many more, with 4 different combat classes in total. From a story standpoint and in terms of raw hack-and-slash action, Dissidia Final Fantasy NT should be worth checking out. Shadow of the Colossus. Team Ico's masterpiece just got a whole lot better with Shadow of the Colossus being remade for the PlayStation 4. Handled by Bluepoint Games and SIE Japan Studios, Shadow of the Colossus features the same journey to hunt down 16 different colossi, climbing their enormous exteriors and ultimately striking their vitals. It's the graphics which have been remade from the ground up with a higher resolution, better textures, and improved frame rate. If you've never played it before, now is a great time to start. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Aside from some gameplay snippets, an episodic approach, and the project shifting towards in-house development, there's not a whole lot known about the Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's kind of amazing that we went from, is this really happening, to, so is this happening anytime soon? Square Enix and director Tetsuya Nomura haven't answered that, but we still have faith in Final Fantasy VII Remake being a must-have exclusive. Now let's hope Aerith actually gets a decent voice actor after Mina Savari's disastrous performance in Kingdom Hearts 2. Death Stranding. Hideo Kojima's flirtation with the macabre didn't stop with PT. It's gained new legs, added tanks with gross sea life growing out of them. What could possibly go wrong? Death Stranding is touted as an open-world action game, and while it's still just a series of creepy trailers at this point, the unique nature of its aesthetic and approach continues to intrigue us. Shenmue 3. Also known as that other project Sony confirmed at E3, wait, why is this on Kickstarter? EaseNet's Shenmue 3 has a lot to live up to. Development has apparently been proceeding smoothly with Unreal Engine 4 as the base engine and collaboration with Laksha Digital. More than a release date, we'd like to see some gameplay and how the combat will work. Is Ryo Hazuki's journey as enthralling as it was nearly 2 decades ago? The answer to that question is still a ways off, unfortunately. The Inpatient. As a prequel to Until Dawn, Supermassive Games' The Inpatient takes us to Blackwood Sanatorium roughly 60 years in the past. Playing as an amnesiac patient, you have to unravel the reasons why you're there, what's going on, and so on. For a VR title, The Inpatient has received average reviews for its movement and pacing. The atmosphere seems on point though, so it might be worth checking out if you want a binaural horror experience. Yakuza 6: The Song of Life. Kazuma Kiryu is out of jail yet again, but this time he's older and trying to figure out what happened to Haruka. Players will venture to old locations like Kamurocho, partake in side quests, and beat up thugs like before. Combat has been changed to accommodate different planes of movement and momentum, though there's sadly only one fighting style this time. Despite mixed import impressions, Yakuza 6: The Song of Life should be another exciting chapter in the life of Kiryu. Armored Warfare. Remember My.com's Armored Warfare, which deals in tank battles and features PvE and PvP missions to partake in? The tank simulator is coming to PS4 in early 2018, and it's quite intriguing if you're into that. Whether it competes with World of Tanks or not remains to be seen, but the PvE focus could give it an edge. It also had Obsidian Entertainment working on it at some point, so there's that. Dreams. Media Molecule's perennial Dreams has been in development for a long time. The sandbox title, which allows players to interact with the world and create new characters or items, reminds us a lot of Little Big Planet. Some of the key differences include the seamless nature of Dreams' levels, the ability to directly control characters and influence scenes, and building one's own levels. We like the concept, but how about a release date sometime soon? GUACAMELEE 2. Drinkbox Studios took us by surprise at Paris Games Week by announcing GUACAMELEE 2, the follow-up to the bombastic Metroidvania-style action platformer with luchadors. GUACAMELEE 2 sees one returning to help his old teacher. 4-player co-op is confirmed for launch, along with advanced chicken form moves. Intrigued? So are we. It'll be heading to the PS4 soonish, with a PC release pretty much expected. While other platforms may receive it later, the earliest place to play will be on Sony's console. Spelunky 2. Mossmouth and Derek Yu finally announced that Spelunky 2 is in development. And really, what more needs to be said? The roguelite platformer had pretty much everything you could ask for, and the sequel looks to take that further. Our favorite adventurer now has a family, and it seems like his daughter will take up the mantle of Spelunker. There's also the possibility of levels in the sky or something like that. Spelunky 2 is due for PS4 first and will likely hit PC next before hitting other platforms. Erica. Debuting at Paris Games Week, Erica is a PlayLink title which utilizes live-action footage to tell a story. And before you scream, Night Trap rules, which it doesn't, Erica is more in the tone of Until Dawn with a fair bit of mystery and murder thrown in. As Erica's actions shift with the story, you'll have to make a call on who to trust. Erica doesn't have a release date yet, but we expect to hear more in the coming months. Earth Defense Force 5. It's another Earth Defense Force game, which means killing giant insects among other assorted monsters. Signature classes like the Ranger, Wing Diver, Air Raider, and Fencer are returning, though there will be some more customization. There's a chance to upgrade weapons that you find duplicates for, and you can also set armor values for each class. If you're into killing things, and we mean lots and lots of things, then Earth Defense Force 5, with its kitschy story and voice acting, could be for you. Zone of the Enders, the second runner, Mars. Finally, Konami has seen fit to remaster Zone of the Enders, the second runner. Along with support for 4K resolution and PlayStation VR, the remaster will also be available for PC in Q2 2018. Everything else appears unchanged, which is fine. The second runner's awesome arcade action and mech fighting, coupled with the stylish presentation, already looks gorgeous in this remastered form. VR gameplay is still iffy, but everything else has us stoked. Yakuza Kiwami 2. There's never any rest for Kazuma Kiryu, and Yakuza Kiwami 2, a remake of Yakuza 2, sees him searching for a new Tojo clan chairman after the death of 5th chairman Yukio Terada. Along with gameplay elements from Yakuza 0 and Kiwami, new story elements to help clear up plot holes and improved graphics, players will also have a completely separate story scenario focused on a playable Goro Majima. All this plus New Japan Pro Wrestling stars like Keiji Muto and Genichiro Tenryu. Already available in Japan, expect Yakuza Kiwami to receive a Western release date announcement this year. Fist of the North Star. Ever wanted to play as the Road Warrior and mutter, "You're already dead," to your opponents? You'll finally get the chance with Fist of the North Star coming to the PlayStation 4 courtesy of the team behind Sega's Yakuza series. From beating foes senseless with their own screams to exploring a post-apocalyptic wasteland and beating up more dudes, it's definitely Fist of the North Star. It's out in March for Japan with a Western release hopefully coming in the near future. Boundless. In a world of voxel-based sandbox MMOs, Boundless is odd. It lets you pretty much do anything within its setting called the Known Worlds. There's something called the Great Transmigration happening, and you can either build warp conduits for fast traveling, research new things, hunt titans, or go treasure hunting. Currently in early access for PC, Boundless will support cross-platform play when it eventually arrives on the PS4. Left Alive. Imagine this, a survival action shooter with mechs developed by Square Enix with Armored Core series director Nabashima, Metal Gear Solid character designer Yoji Shinkawa, and Gundam mech designer Takayuki Yanase at the helm. There are 3 different characters to play as, diverging story paths, the opportunity for all-out gunplay or stealth, and much, much more. We haven't seen much, honestly, but that's all we need to know to care about Left Alive. The Hong Kong Massacre. One look at the Hong Kong Massacre from two-man studio Vareski immediately made us think Hotline Miami meets Max Payne. There's buckets of blood, stylish bullet time action, and an overhead perspective to dole out carnage from. You can even rotate your character to dodge bullets because why not? The actual story involves hunting down a Japanese gang leader through Hong Kong, basking in the bloody opera style of presentation and violence. Select different locations in a non-linear order, gather new clues, unlock more levels, and kill anything that moves. The Hong Kong Massacre is out this year for PlayStation 4. MLB The Show 18. SIE San Diego Studios' yearly baseball franchise continues with MLB The Show 18. Along with cutting-edge visuals that capture every wrinkle and every bit of stubble on players, we'll see the return of play-by-play commentators like Matt Vasgersian, Dan Plesac, and Harold Reynolds. Will Retro Mode make a comeback? Can we expect improvements to the Career Mode? We'll know more as MLB The Show 18 releases on March 27, 2018. Concrete Genie. It's not enough to have one creation-based game for the PS4, we need 2. Pixel Opus's Concrete Genie fulfills that purpose as a puzzle platformer adventure where protagonist Ash must clean up his town with the power of graffiti. It sounds whimsical, but there's an undercurrent of overcoming bullies in the midst of crafting gorgeous artistic landscapes. Concrete Genie's release date is yet to be confirmed. The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2. Ironically releasing on the PC first before coming to the PS4 in the West, The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2 is actually a remastered version of the PS3 title released in 2016. As a direct sequel to the first game, players can now pretty much explore the world as they please rather than sticking to a strict schedule. Choices from the first game will carry over into the sequel, and you may see events change depending on your actions. We don't know when Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel arrives for the West on PS4, but the PC version is out on February 14th. Lost Soul Aside. Developed by only one person, Lost Soul Aside is an action title which seems to combine the aesthetics of Final Fantasy. It looks and plays amazingly well, which makes the revelation of one man handling everything so awesome. If Lost Soul Aside can deliver a compelling tale and a deep combat system to accompany its action, Sony could have yet another hack-and-slash hit on their hands. And that'll be about it for this one. If you guys like what we're doing at GamingBolt, please consider subscribing to our channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.